Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Veracity. And before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin, but I can summarize it quite quickly. It's getting rejected out about 43,000, but it's trending above 42,200. So we're above a key level resistance, but also below another key level resistance, right? So essentially we're in between this little support and resistance zone, and it's kind of par for the course considering the news for tomorrow. So just be mindful of the fact that price could essentially drop as a result of the CPI data, inflation, etc. All that stuff's happening tomorrow, and we're just being a little bit more careful. And I recommend, as a community, or even if you're not a community member, set some USDT or whatever account you have, set it aside and make sure that you have some money available to buy the dip if it were to come down any further. Okay, just some friendly advice. Now, before we look at VRA, I want to kind of summarize here and let you know that I am not a financial advisor. I just love teaching people how to trade. This is my day job. I do this every single day for work and living, essentially, and I've been trading for over 15 years. So my goal is to help you become more self-sufficient, independent as a trader, and I love helping people get to that point. That independence is nice. We've got a lot of people that are fire, so to speak, in my community, and it's really awesome to be able to share that. So be sure to consider joining my community. Of course, if you'd like to consider becoming a better trader, I have a trading academy rolling out month end with our new website platform available likely February 1st. We're slated to get that available at that time. So anyways, be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, feel free to message me if you have any questions at CryptoCache Tech through Telegram. Now with Veracity, looking at the one-day chart, we can see very synonymous behavior from Bitcoin. Interestingly enough, Bitcoin has a death cross occurring right now as well. You can totally see it. It's coming to fruition. So you can't tell me that VRA is not aligned with Bitcoin. I mean, all the moving averages are effectively the same. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Same exact price points. We could expect a reduction in price here soon based on that sentiment alone. It's only about a 60% probability that the death cross will effectively adversely impact the price. So just keep that kind of in the forefront of your mind. But for right now, it's going to be a potential resistance once we get back up to just say 3.7 cents. For right now, we're looking okay at about 3 cents, trending upwards, and it's been, well, I think we're up about 20% on the day. So it's definitely been a strong day for Veracity. And the main reason why is because Bitcoin is showing a little bit of stability, right? We've also got this, let me pull this up for you here, the Bitcoin entity adjusted dormancy flow. Now, I like to kind of summarize this as easy as possible without getting too technical. When the price is really low, it's considered to be oversold, right? Very similar to an RSI. This is just more of an annual RSI, if you will, whereas the price action doesn't come down too low. We saw this at 30,000. We had a very similar response, so to speak, based on the flow of the adjusted dormancy. Okay, so again, not to keep it to keep it very brief, for lack of better terms, it's a good sign telling us that the price will probably increase. So I showed you that because the fact that that is a likely catalyst causing the price action to increase here today, because that came out as a result of just kind of some positive news, the silver lining that we've all been looking for. So everyone's trying to buy Bitcoin. Just bear in mind, it could very well be a bull trap, and with tomorrow's news coming into play, the reversal potential is still there. So I just want you to be mindful of that. So don't put your entire bag into Veracity. Put dollar cost average a little bit, set some aside, and make sure that you're just cognizant of what's going to happen, because we're not there yet. This month can still be a little rocky. I think February is going to be more free and clear, but this month essentially we could see more tomfoolery, so to speak, right? So just consider yourself warned. Now take a look at RSI. We saw the price bounce off of 30. That's good, but we're still under 50 on the RSI, which essentially is, I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just, it is what it is. In fact, why don't we, before we go any further here, let's go ahead and draw out a new Fibonacci retracement line and make sure that we're on the same page here as well, because there's probably some key level resistances that we need to be mindful of. All right, so looking back at the RSI, we can kind of see that right there at about 0.33, or basically 3.3 cents rather, we are looking at a potential resistance level, right? Because right in that zone between 3.3 and 3.6, you see a lot of volume accumulation. In fact, we could probably see a decent amount right there, yep. And that really just tells us that we're going to have a strong resistance coming up. So just bear in mind, yes, we're looking good right now, but we could see the price reject out there and essentially come back down potentially, or it could just consolidate at resistance and then eventually break through. But just be mindful of the fact that we're not in the totally like all set, good to go. You don't got to go balls to the wall with this right now. Okay, it's a good sign. It's a nice turnaround, but for lack of better terms, we're seeing that bearish divergence subside and the bullish convergence emerge, right? And that's what we're seeing here with the MACD as well, where the 12-day is intersecting with the 26 in upward fashion that is soon to come to fruition. So the macro looks good, okay? But I'll tell you what, the macro looks good on everything today. So again, no, I wouldn't get super hyped about it. It's just a very nice sign that we should essentially be close to the bottom. And keyword here is close, right? If we, heaven forbid, we do essentially lose, essentially, just say, Bitcoin loses bottom at 42,000, or correction, sorry, 40,500, because that's the bottom for Bitcoin right now. If we lose that bottom and start trending closer to 37,000, you bet your tail that Veracity is going to start trending closer to about 2.2 or possibly 1.6. Okay, this is a reality, and we just need to understand that. So I'm just throwing it out there so you know that we're not in the total clear yet, but we're definitely trending positively in the sense where the worst is most likely behind us. Okay. All right, anyways, enough about that. We're below below the 200-day simple moving average, but up over the 50. This is a nice little thing because, Bitcoin right now is testing the 50-day simple moving average, whereas Veracity is above it. So that should likely work as a support level moving forward, pending Bitcoin breaks that resistance level at about 43,000. Okay. Again, everything's reliant on Bitcoin. So if you're going to do any kind of TA on Veracity, you just look at Bitcoin first, right? That's the standard thing. I'm not bothering with that here today in this video because I've already reviewed Bitcoin today. Feel free to look at that in your own time. I cover in detail what's going on with that, and it's still fair to middling at this point. Higher highs and higher lows in the short term, but the midterm and long term aren't like phenomenal, right? Anyways, that's kind of where we're at there with Veracity. So, I would say overall fairly neutral in this sense. I'm not super bullish yet because we haven't passed that major key level resistance of 3.3, but we're up right around 3.1. That's a good sign. It's testing this resistance level here at about roughly 3.1. And that's excellent. The more volume we can accumulate there, the better we can leg up in the next push. So taking a look at the Ichimoku cloud, this is a key indicator, I feel. The conversion line's close to the baseline. I don't love that, but I do like that we're over the over a cloud, and essentially we have the lagging span free and clear of any price action. But if that lagging span or correction, the price action where it's at presently can't pass that key level resistance right here at about 3.1, then we're going to come into terms with the fact that we're probably going to get a sell signal from the cloud based on the simple fact that this lagging span would intersect with the price action. Once it does, that essentially tells us to close our position on the short term. Again, you're a long-term holder of Veracity, none of that matters. Add to your position dollar cost average, just set some money aside just in case it comes down lower if Bitcoin shows some more nonsense here in the near future. Again, there's still potential. I just like to warn you of that. The sky isn't falling, but it could, if that makes any sense, right? Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That's the ultimate goal here. And in that sense, right now, we're just seeing some resistance at 3.1. So if we can't break that in the next 12 hours, then we'll essentially get a sell signal from Ichimoku Cloud. TD Sequential is also telling us we're at a 9. So it's good that we're consolidating here, of course. We can go sideways and get more of a firm base, get that reset on TD Sequential. Then we can count from 1 to 9 again, hopefully breaking this resistance level and getting up to about 3.3, and then breaking this nice resistance channel between 3.3 and 3.6. Okay, that's all very possible if Bitcoin shows some kind of presence, right? Bitcoin needs to, man up, so to speak, and get more consistent, and that's all we truly need. The fear, uncertainty, and doubt is just a terrible thing right now, and it's holding a lot of coins down. But Veracity will definitely do very well if Bitcoin just shows a little bit of confidence. Okay, so just again try to understand what Bitcoin's doing. Maybe watch my daily Bitcoin analysis videos for more information on how Veracity is going to perform, because they are very much synonymous in a lot of ways. In fact, if we go right over to Bitcoin, you can see almost the exact same type of pattern, right? That is a very similar transition, and we're seeing the same thing with Veracity. It's just a little bit more extended right now based on the simple fact it's been held down for so long, right? Because again, most altcoins like this, Veracity included, they are roughly 1.5 to 2x of Bitcoin. So obviously, a 5% increase from Bitcoin will result in a 10% increase from Veracity. Okay. Just note this key level resistance here is going to hold the price action down a little further, which is perfectly fine, but we might see a rejection here soon if Bitcoin cannot seem to pass this resistance level of 43,000. Okay. So again, not terrible, not great. It is what it is. We'll see soon tomorrow what happens. That'll really be the biggest push in whichever direction this will tend to go. Okay. So hopefully you found benefit here and I didn't provide more questions than answers. There's no major point in kind of telling you how much further up it's going to go. I mean, truth be told, we will see, it would be For Veracity, I think there is a likelihood we could see somewhere in the range of 4.4 cents, but I think the likelihood of that is at least a few weeks out, or if nothing else, better case scenario, roughly 2 weeks out. Okay, unless Bitcoin comes up and gets crazy and goes up to 46,000 in a couple of days and holds, breaks that major resistance level, then we're not going to see a tremendous increase from Veracity. It's going to continue to wait for Bitcoin's response. All right. So I'm sorry I drove that home so much, but I just like to make sure to confirm that. So many other coins are doing that right now, so do not feel bad. Veracity is, being held down. But one last thing to note as well, and I noticed this earlier, right here when Veracity hit its highest point, October 31st, that was like a week before Bitcoin started to sell off. So when Veracity was trying to consolidate right here and bounce, it got rejected hard, and that's the reason why Veracity came down so quick and hasn't had any chance to turn around, because it was overextended before Bitcoin sold off. That's the main reason why it's synonymous with Bitcoin. KuCoin did the same thing too. It was way too high, 90 some odd cents, and it's traveling down to 40 some odd cents right now, 44 or something like that. And the main reason why is because it got overextended just before the major sell-off from Bitcoin. Okay, anything that was overextended before Bitcoin, had its little temporary blow off top or whatever, it's recession, so to speak, in the last 2 months, it is in the same scenario as VRA right now. So just some friendly advice for future reference. If you're like scratching your head, this is a good coin, why is it getting hammered so hard? It was overextended before the sell-off. That's about all there is to it. All right, hope you learned something here today. Comment below. If not, consider becoming a community member. We're, again, rolling out with a Trading Academy month end, and obviously transitioning over to a website with a robust membership platform outside of the traditional sense of Patreon. So we're just coming away from that. It's not very user-friendly for my members, so I created a website. We're working on that now with a web developer, making sure we have something that's healthy and nice with relevant market data, and it's going to be a good situation. So be on the lookout for that. That should occur roughly February 1st. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.